morning. Good morning. How we doing? How's everybody doing today? Hi, Heather. How are you? Chet, John, Brock, James, Jill, Joy. Ooh, we got some joy up in the house. Let's go. Hey, Wendy, Paul, David, D. Let's go. What a morning. What a day. Let's get this party started. Um, Welcome to some new faces. I see some new folks here this morning. Just want to say hello, hello. Grateful you're here. This is an amazing group. Brian Gelke's in the house. Sarah, hello, hello. Um, we have some fun on these morning shows, don't we, Brock? It is a good time to be alive. And a great way to start your morning, great way to start your day. A little bit of positivity. We share some stories, we navigate some challenges. And the best part is we engage after this show, right? We follow up, we have conversations. What you'll see is my phone number, my email will go out. Feel free to call, feel free to text, feel free to reach out to me, any other speaker throughout the week. Brock, of course, Brock the Rock. He is our rock. He is our foundation for the Mindset and Motivation Show. So, anybody who's new, please welcome and engage, ask questions in the chat, follow up. Well, you'll get our contact information. So, welcome, welcome. My name is Jim Morris. I am a keynote speaker. I talk a lot about human connection, relationship building, marketing consultant, real estate agent, real estate coach, author. I do a lot of things. A lot of things go on in this brain right here. And I know that is very similar to what probably goes on in your brain. And sometimes we can get caught up in doing things that we don't really want to do, doing things that aren't really in line with our passions, our integrity. We may have the skill set to do those things, right? I believe everybody in this world is multifaceted. Everybody in this world has all these different types of skill sets. And today, I'm going to share a message with you that's really important. It's been on my heart the last 24 hours, and I think it's extremely powerful because I forget this message several times over the last 25 years I've been in business. I've forgotten this message more recently, and I really want to share it with you, and it's on my heart. You know, last night, Brock gave me a call. He was driving home from his speaking engagement, and I was walking in to a dinner last night, and we had a quick conversation, and that dinner was very unique for me. What that dinner is, and I don't know if you have this where you are or if you've heard of this concept or you're like, what the heck are you talking about, Jim? But this dinner, you basically fill out a small form, you give a budget, how much money you want to pay for dinner, and this program basically takes all this information and they pair you up with 4 other random people to have dinner with. Pretty interesting, pretty unique, pretty scary, even for a guy like me who's an extrovert, right? I'm like walking into dinner, I'm like, okay, all right, I don't know how this is gonna go. This is a little odd. This is a little weird. This is like, whoa. But the reason why I'm sharing this with you is not to talk about this dinner concept, even though it was an amazing dinner. And if you have the opportunity to do something unique like that, I would highly, highly do it. There's a company called Folks, Folx, and that's who puts on these types of dinners. But what happened in that dinner reminded me of something that is extremely important and something that I just navigated. So when I woke up this morning, I was like, okay, I have this framework I'm going to teach. It's called Triple H. I'm going to share it with y'all how to make and build relationships, to understand if someone needs to be heard, helped, or hugged. And I woke up, and what came through me, what was on my mind, what God wanted me to talk about was not that. So that's going to get pushed to the side. Is that okay with everybody? Is that okay that I can push something to the side and not do it because I feel something else that I need to believe with you, put a 5 in the chat. Put a 5 in the chat if that's okay. Put a 5 in the chat if you want me to bring some heat this morning because I'm fired up. And I am feeling a little sassy. Feeling a little sassy this morning. Feeling a little significant. Okay? Significance. So this is what we're going to do. Everybody take out a pen and a piece of paper. Um, and I want you to write at the top of the piece of paper. And I'll wait an hour until everybody has this piece of paper because this is gonna change your life. Get the pen out, get the piece of paper, and I want you to write at the top of the page, reclaim your life. Reclaim your life. And if you wrote it small, if you didn't write it in capitals, cross it out. I want it big. I want it in all caps. And I want it right there as the big header on that piece of paper. Reclaim your life. Now, below that, I want you to draw a circle. Draw a big circle. Oh, I got the background because I'm not in my office, so you probably can't see this, but y'all can imagine it. It's the same thing I'm telling you to do. Big circle, and I want you to write me in the middle of that circle. M-E, me. Now, I've gone through so many phases, so many seasons of my life where I forgot to reclaim myself. I forgot to realize what I love to do. I forgot to realize you have one life. Why are we not doing the things that we want to do? Why are we not doing the things we love to do? Why are we getting caught up in doing all this shit that makes no sense, that sucks all our energy out? And we give it an excuse. We give it a reason. We try to reason with ourselves on why we are not being ourselves. Try to reason with ourselves on why we're not being ourselves. So as I'm at this dinner last night, remember, it's myself and 4 people that I've never met. Don't know them, never, no idea who they are. We're at this dinner. It's a small table. It's a rectangular table. So I'm sitting at the head of it. There's another gentleman at the other head, and there's 3 women that are sitting to the left of me going down the table. And people start talking. They start introducing themselves. Well, you know me, right, folks? I'm all about human connection. I'm all about relationships. So I'm going to go deep. I'm going to crack the egg wide open. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. And I asked this question on my podcast, Impact Effect with Jim Morris. If you haven't checked out my podcast, check it out. Impact Effect with Jim Morris. We just hit over 750,000 downloads. And I asked this one question to every single guest on my podcast. What's the most impactful moment in your life that has changed everything for the future? So, of course, I've got these 4 other random people at the dinner table, and I'm like, okay, here it is. We're gonna talk about this. The first woman just went through a divorce. She was Miss Tennessee. She previously was Miss Tennessee. She just went through a divorce. She is now divorced. The second woman, she was talking about how she had to take this job and she's working all the time and she's struggling and she's realizing that she needs to work out more and she needs to do things that are happy and that she wants in life and all these things, right? The third woman is going through a divorce right now. She's in the middle of a divorce. The fourth gentleman, later in life, finally built his own business, his consulting business. Worked for corporate, worked for a bunch of companies, became an entrepreneur, named the company after his dog. How cool is that? The reason why I'm sharing these stories with you about these other folks is because as I was sitting there, I started to think, who's reclaiming their life right now? And I started to feel the energy, right? The first woman who got divorced, she had amazing energy. She reclaimed her life. She was doing all these things that she didn't want to do, She was living this life that made her unhappy. She was living this life that made her miserable. She was living this life where she got up every single day and didn't feel like herself. She was doing things, she was with people. She did not feel like herself. She made a decision. Her energy at this dinner table, remember, I don't know these people. I've never met these people. Shit, I don't even remember their last name at this point. But her energy, the power that she had because she decided not to do things or be with people that she didn't want to be with, it was infectious. Her energy was infectious. The second woman, she is not reclaiming her life. She is not doing the things she wants. She's playing victim. She had victim mindset. She had excuses. She sat there and said, I can't go to the gym. I can't just run around like you. She said that to the lady who just got divorced. I can't just run around like you and do what I want. She sat there and she said, I have financial stress. I got to work a lot of hours. I have to work 7 days a week. I don't have the luxury of spending times with my stepkids. She had all these excuses because she wasn't claiming anything. She wasn't doing anything she wanted. It killed me to hear that. And Brian Gelke's on this call, decoding facial features, body language expert. If you heard him speak at the summit, the guy's an absolute genius. He's actually in my book that's coming out because of how much he's impacted my life. And I sat there and I watched this woman. When the first woman who was divorced, who was talking about reclaiming her life, she was talking about doing the things that give her energy, doing the things that she feels passionate about. The second woman who was playing victim, I watched her start to do this. For those of you that might be driving and not looking at the camera, I'm covering my neck. That body language, that's protection, that she's uneasy. She doesn't like what the other woman's saying. I then watch the other woman speak again, and she starts to touch the back of her neck. She's really uncomfortable. Her body language, her words, everything she was doing, she wasn't reclaiming herself. She wasn't doing the thing she loved. And she was putting on an act. The smile at dinner. Hey, Jim, nice to meet you. It was bullshit. And it literally took 15 minutes for me to see this picture so clearly that she wasn't reclaiming her life. She wasn't living a life she loved. 15 minutes. I never even met this woman. And I watched this woman who just got divorced, who isn't doing beauty pageants anymore, is walking away from a life she didn't love to go navigate a new one. She's scared. She's vulnerable. She's being real. But she's doing what she wants. She's doing what she loves. That was an amazing energy. And then to watch the woman literally sitting right next to her, shoulder to shoulder, be the exact opposite. Playing victim, not moving in the direction she wants, not living the life she leads. That life was leading her. As I think about this, and I woke up this morning, I just went through something very similar where I was not living my life. I took a consultation agreement. It was a 12-month agreement. I was brought in to help with marketing, leadership, sales, systems, all the things. And what I realized through the process was the agreement, the contract, the actions and expectations, they were drastically different. And I wasn't reclaiming myself in the process. I was doing things I absolutely hated. Brock's going to laugh when I share this. I was making graphics. Okay. If you know anything about Jim Morris, I hate making graphics. I'm terrible at it. Like I can't even use Canva. Christian's probably gonna laugh at me. I can't even like put anything in Canva. It looks like a 3-year-old makes it. My wife's like, Jim, there's literally a template. Like just change the words. And somehow, some way, those words go over here. There's random text boxes. There's trapezoids. I didn't even know what a trapezoid was. Like I'm like, what is happening? Right? But I wasn't reclaiming what I love. I wasn't reclaiming my passion. I wasn't reclaiming my life. Big consulting agreement, 12-month deal, massive retainer. I let those decisions of money, those decisions of fear push me into an agreement that wasn't defined, wasn't in a line, and wasn't what I wanted to do. I literally didn't want to do it. Remember when I had you draw that circle and write me in it? Think about it like this. You may have heard when you're not in alignment, when you're not doing the things you love, there's this thing called an energy vampire, right? It's sucking energy from you. When you don't reclaim your life, when you don't live your life, when you don't live and do the things you want to do, things you wish you could do, how to follow your dreams, how to take one step forward towards your dreams. When you're going in the wrong direction, when you know you're supposed to take a right, but you wake up and you're being forced to take a left, or you're doing things that cause you to take a left, like every day we have a decision to make over and over and over and over. We're walking up to the top of the road and there's a fork, there's a split. And we either go left or we go right. And these decisions happen all day, every day. Thousands and thousands and thousands of decisions occur a week. And we're at the fork. And you can go left because you know you should go left. Your heart's telling you to go left. You're going to reclaim yourself. You're going to do what you love, what you want, what you wish, and you're going to go left. Or you go right. Right could be easier. Right could seem like it's faster. Right could be faster. Right could be, well, I have to go right because I know right. I know that when I go right and I go around that bend, that there's not a big, dark, scary forest with a big monster that's going to jump out. And because I've been that way and I know that way. So I'm just going to keep going right. But everything in your heart, everything in your soul wants you to go left. Go left. Back to the energy vampire. The reason why I had you draw a circle and put me inside is because that circle that you just drew, you drew it. You reclaimed it. That circle will protect you. And similar to like a vampire sucking your energy, right? What do? They put the in the circle around you, like what is it, garlic or something for vampires or something like that, right? Or oranges. I don't know. I'm not like a big Dracula vampire or whatever guy. Um, but think about it. Think about that analogy, right? Like it's garlic. Thank you, Jeremy. Help a brother out. I'm over here saying oranges. Put that garlic around yourself and draw it on a piece of paper. Like physically look at it. I've got mine. I've got mine. Reclaim your life. Here's my circle. Can't see it because I got the background, but it's there, I promise. And it's right here, folks. It's literally right above my laptop. Brock talks about putting things in your eyesight, putting things in your visual. You don't want to make your calls. You don't want to have tough conversations. What do? You put a picture of your kids right there and you do it for them. You do it for the reason that's going to push you to do the things you don't want to do. You know how hard it is to fire a client paying you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a month because you are not doing the things that give you energy, but you feel like you need the money? Throw a 5 in the chat if you've been there. Throw a five if that has come across your mind. I am doing all this stuff, but I don't want to do it. It makes me miserable. I hate it, but I have to because of money. We've all been there. If you haven't been there, you're lying. If you're not putting a five in the chat, I'm going to call bullshit. Because everybody goes through these situations. Every single person I've ever talked to in my life that I've had a deep conversation with, someone who has opened up to me, someone who has given me an opportunity to get involved in their life, has told me that they have come through this scenario. They have been here before. And guess what? I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be there again. You know how many times I've told myself that I wouldn't do this? And I just did it. I just did it. I've been telling Brock, wah. Brock calls it a pity party. Wah. I've been having a pity party. Brock, this is what's going on. I'm doing graphics. I don't like graphics. Graphics suck. I've been through this so many times. There's nothing better than protecting your energy, doing what you love, doing what you know you're meant to do, and breaking away from that hold on you, that like, it's like, whew, sweating thinking about it. Like, but here's the thing, similar to what Brock says, you can't sit in your own pity party, right? You got to move through it. You got to make the hard decisions. Life is all about a consistent level of decisions, consecutive decisions, one on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other. And when I'm thinking about this dinner the other night, literally last night, I'm like, man, it's right in front of my face. Like, I can't ignore it. That's why I'm telling it to you, because I'm just like, this is so real and so relevant. It's literally right in front of my face. I'm sitting next to one woman who's reclaimed her life, and I'm sitting next to another woman who isn't and is miserable. The energy I could feel. And then I'm thinking about a decision that I just made a few weeks ago. And how am feeling like the woman who just got divorced and reclaimed her life today, but I was the other woman who was playing victim, who was miserable, who was doing the things that I didn't want to do just a few weeks ago. When I think about this stuff, when I think about how we need to move through these scenarios, the word perfection does not apply. And the only way that I have moved through these situations that have come out of left field, right? Because here's the deal. This consulting agreement, it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. It was amazing for me. I'm like, all right, it's going to be 25 hours a week. I get to build this. I got to do this. I know this system. We're going to set up the ads. I'm going to do events. We're going to do all these things that I'm really good at, that I absolutely love. And within 20 days, it was a completely different business. Two, all the leadership's changed. Three, the accountability program and the chart doesn't exist. Four, we're using a new system. Five, I can't hire a graphic designer. Like, these things all just changed rapidly, right? And like, when I think about life, when I think about business, when I think about us reclaiming our own life, guess what, folks? Things are going to change. Things are always changing. Things are always transitioning. Things are always maturing. Growth is a great thing if it's going in the right direction. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes we're going right in growth when we're at the fork in the road and we want to really go left. When we thought we were going to go left. When we had an initial GPS that was like, hey, you get to that fork in the road, you're going to go left, baby. And something, somehow, along the way, pushed us to go right. And if you don't reclaim your life, if you don't step in and grab a hold of it, you're going to take a right every single time when your heart, your soul is pushing and telling you to go left. I'm thinking about how many times this has happened in my life. And I'm thinking about how many conversations I've had with people that literally say the same exact thing. And no one's perfect. You're not going to hit this out of the park. When you swing the bat and you're like, I'm going to reclaim my life and I'm going to never get to this point ever again and I've learned enough. Guess what? When you swing the bat, you don't hit a home run every time. Sometimes you got to miss the fastball, wait for the curveball, and crush the changeup. This is life. This is why it's beautiful. This is why it's fun. This is why it's exciting. But I'm so freaking sick and tired of hearing people say, well, I can't do that. This is the cards I'm dealt. I have to do this. I have to do this job. This is the only way I can get business. This is the only way I can show houses. This is the only way that I can use my CRM. No, no, it's not the only way. You're lying to yourself. I promise you. You know how many times I've pivoted? You know how many? I don't even call it a pivot anymore. I call it a transformation. I don't like the P word. You know how many times I've transformed? You know how many caterpillars I've been and moved into butterfly season? Then that butterfly hit a wall, died, fell on the ground. I had to rebuild and re-transform into something else. Like you've been there too, and you can move through it. But I'll tell you this, and this is where I'm going to land the plane. You cannot, and I would write this down. You cannot be the greatest version of yourself by yourself. You cannot be the greatest version of yourself by yourself. We've heard the phrase probably, when you're inside the picture frame, you can't see the picture. We've heard the phrase probably, when you're inside the bottle, you can't read the label. You have to lean on people you trust in these situations when you feel like all your energy is getting sucked out like an energy vampire. You have to lean on people to give you the truth that you trust. You can't just be super vulnerable. I'm writing about this in my book. You can't be super vulnerable with everybody. I've made those mistakes. You can't be super real with everybody because there's an alternative motive. But you have to have a core set of a couple people, even if it's one person, where you can tell the truth. You admire their help. You believe they're in it to win it for you, not themselves. In it to win it for you. They want to help you. They want to see you prosper. They want to see you be great. You have to lean on those people in those situations. If anything that I've said to you today feels relevant in this season, in this moment, you feel like you're at the fork in the road and you're being pulled right when you want to go left, you have to go lean on someone. You have to share this with someone who's close to you. You have to have a conversation around it. Today, it ends feeling like that. It's over. It's done. And you don't have to do it alone. You just have to have someone in your life that will listen, that will advise, and that will help. Again, you cannot be the greatest version of yourself by yourself. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for listening to this crazy guy who went to a weird and wild and awkward dinner last night and got really real really quick. And I just wanted to share that with y'all today. And it was just so apparent to me, literally in front of my face, the comparison of two humans, one living an amazing life, making an extremely hard decision, and the other one, unfortunately, I don't think will ever make that decision to go left. And I hope that you make the right decision in that moment. Love y'all.
I love it, man. I gotta add one thing, so don't leave yet. This is an important message. Can you all do me a huge favor? First, Jim's message was really good, but this is totally different. Could you all wish Jay a happy birthday today? It's her birthday today, and I can't really get her anything because she lives in the Philippines and their mail system is not very exciting over there. So the only love I can give her is all of our love. So we can wish Jay. I've been with her for 4 years now, and I just want to wish her a very, very happy birthday. She's been an amazing VA to me. She's like my family, and I've been blessed to meet her and her family when I was in the Philippines. So I appreciate all that you give her a little happy birthday love. And Jim, thank you so much, brother, for your message today.
Woo, happy birthday, Jay.
Happy birthday, Jay.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Jay.
happy birthday.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, y'all. Happy birthday, Jay!